As you recall, we did fund them additional money over what last year's budget was. We didn't do the full amount, but it was more than what they got last year. But they're coming back now and saying that we need to pay an additional $78,500 in order for them to remain at the status that their openings are. Otherwise, if we do not pay that amount, then they will be reducing hours at Salem Church on Thursday morning from 9 to 1.
And this has been going on for 20-something years, this back and forth with the library. At some point, it's going to come to a head. And I'll tell you, on behalf of our taxpayers, I'm getting kind of frustrated with it. And it's not getting, I don't think that we're getting the true story just from the simple fact that they can't figure out how much it costs to operate per hour. Because you hear, well, we have to pull people from here to do this and move them over here to do this. And no other business runs like that.
Fredericksburg and Stafford did not fund their full ask either. So what they did was they took the shortage there, and then they just kind of put it over on what our percentages were. So for us, it's $78,500. For Fredericksburg, it's $72,000, and for Stafford, it's $30,500. And if they don't get that from those localities, they'll reduce hours for them as well. So, but I want to go back again and just say that we have a budget. That is what's being fiscally responsible is about, is sticking within your means. And, you know, I don't recall any other board that I sit on asking, you know, for more money, and if we don't give it, then this is going to happen to you.
Question, what is our portion that we pay to the library overall, total amount?
As I recall, it's a little over $4 million, $4.5 million.
So it's $4.5 million, and we have 3 locations.
That's correct.
And so at some point, you know, I'm really wondering, is it more beneficial for our taxpayers to just go alone?
Well, we had actually
$1 million per location to operate.
We had
which
discussed,
is outrageous.
Yeah, we had discussed that, Mr. Yakubowski, and the county owns the buildings that the library is in, but the library owns all of the furniture, fixtures, resource materials, and staffing.
We can buy all that,
So
and we can hire people.
We would have to do that
Right.
if we were to do that.
But I would like to see that because, you know, this is an ongoing issue and being held, and I don't want to use any, well, being held hostage, basically, that, you know, if you don't do this is blackmail. If you don't do it, we're going to cut your hours. And what are we going to cut it? Well, we're going to use some arbitrary number, and we're going to stick it to that one right over there. I'm getting tired of that. And this is the only outside organization. You know, you talk about regionalism, not you, but in general, talk about regionalism and want to get along with everybody else. Yes, we do. And I'll tell you, I know that my colleagues in other localities that are part of this are getting kind of fed up of this too. And if it comes down to it, and we need to do the investment, because I do believe that our library is a very important part. So I don't want to get even though I'm going to get the emails, here they come. Because I can see the original email going out. So sorry, folks, but our email boxes are going to get full now, but with very bad information and poorly written original emails. But what they're going to say is, you know, don't shut down the libraries, don't cut the service. We don't want to do that. What we want is to have a very vibrant system that offers the best that we can for the money that we're paying. And I just don't feel like we're doing that. And if we are getting that, I would love for that to be presented to us. But if you just look at the raw numbers, 3 locations with 2 satellite locations for roughly $1 million each. The satellite locations are new. I'll take those off the table for now. $1 million apiece. It just seems like there's something in there that can be done better, and we can do it a better way. And, you know, I'm actually going to be talking to my colleagues in the other localities too about this too, because I think from what I've heard from them, this is getting to that point of let's let's talk and let's see what we can do, because again, this is a service and it's a needed one, and I want to make sure that we're providing the best that we possibly can. I want to make sure that we provide the best that we possibly can for our citizens, because it's their money, they're paying for this, and they're the ones that are getting the hours cut. And I'm wondering if for $4 million, we already own the locations, we have to hire staff, and we have to fill it with books and furniture and library. That's a one-time cost, but the ongoing cost of operating our own system would be what? What are the upsides? What are the downsides? Because we always hear that there's so many downsides, nobody can ever articulate them. But there's downsides because we have an award-winning system, nationally recognized, all that kind of stuff. So, fine. What does that mean if we were to do it on our own? And, I'm just one, if you guys agree, I think it would be fine. And I'm not pushing for it next month, but, because I know there's a lot on your plate, but in a reasonable amount of time, because you start on the budget in basically August, or basically July, when the new year starts, so.
So,
If the board could take formal action to
I would make that in the form of a motion.
have me go in that direction, I'd be happy to do that.
And make it in form of a motion to ask staff to bring back a presentation in a reasonable amount of time, detailing the upsides, downsides, and everything dealing with the library system, and we'll leave it open-ended at that point. Because I don't want to come to a conclusion. I'm not looking for that.
yep. There's a motion on the floor. Do we need to call a vote then? Let's call a vote then, please.
4 yes, motion passes.